Welcome to We're Talking Bears, where uncle and nephew give you a breakdown of the latest Bears experience.
I'm Uncle.
And I'm Nephew, and we're talking
Bears.
Bears. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the word, Unc?
You're
looking real uncleish today.
I just had to dye my beard. You know what I mean? I got the just for men.
You got the fountain of youth. Look. All last season, you look different.
Did I? Oh, I ain't really been, watching.
Man, yeah, you got the fountain of youth going, man. Hey, but about this game, I'm not gonna lie. It never feels good to lose, man. It never feels good to lose, especially when you have high hopes for your, well, not high hopes in the sense of winning, but we want to see the new young talent find their way and kind of gel a little bit with the rest of the team. The second half looked great to me, man. The second half looked great after being down 21-3 in the 21-10. I believe we scored right before the half, if I'm not mistaken. We scored before the half. But 21-3 was the score until just before halftime, and then to see them be able to find some success moving the ball down the field, I was happy about that. Kirk Cousins starting off 17-17 after they said, oh, his record is like 3-3, 4-4, 5-5. Like, oh, he was 12-12 as his best showing, and he's 17-17. That kind of upset me a little bit, but I mean, we fought back. We even took the lead at a point, so I can't say I was disgusted in this game. Of course, we won the W, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of optimistic after what I've seen. Other than the way that we lost the game, like the last play, like that, disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah.
What's your take on
it? Man, I would say from a fan perspective, this game was a very good, like, don't panic game. You know what I mean? Because last week was a little bit of a panic game. Like, we looked out of our depth last week against a Giants team that, I mean, they just beat the Packers, so they're not as trash as we assumed, but they're not a good team, and we could tell that when we were in there watching them. So, like, they have obvious deficiencies, and we looked like a JV team against them at times.
Yeah.
So, it definitely helped me from the sense of, like, stuff I wanted to see from our coaching, stuff I wanted to see from our players on the field. They definitely picked up just a lot of the slack that was just left hanging last week. So kudos to them. Kudos for tightening it up. I would say most improved from week to week. Obviously, we got to go to Fields, man. He was looking like the best player on either team, including Justin Jefferson. And he was just, a couple of penalties and bad snaps and drops away from having probably the best game of his career. So, and he probably still was the best game of his career, truthfully speaking. Maybe the Pittsburgh game stands out as maybe the only other one. So his very young career, I might remind you, that was his 15th start. So it's good to see that progress. It's good to see the progress from our coaches. But it's still a L, so it don't feel good going down.
Yeah. What about those drops, man? I remember last episode we spoke about being able to tell if we have good receivers, if they're just average receivers, or being able to get the ball to them so we can actually see what kind of skill set that they have. I felt like this game Justin found them more than he had been finding them before, and man, some of them guys, man. Pettis comes to mind, man. Did he catch anything? Like,
no.
This like his hands are they're allergic to the ball or something. I couldn't understand, man. And just the struggles we've had, man. It's like when you get open and he finds you, damn it, catch the ball. You know what I mean? So that he frustrated me, to say the least, yesterday, man. I wouldn't be upset if we don't see him on the field too much.
I wouldn't be upset if we just cut him outright from the roster, because quite frankly, we're getting N'Keal Harry back. Hopefully he can catch, because this is 2 games in a row where we've had critical third downs and Pettis has dropped them both. Well, actually, no, he dropped 3 third downs.
I was about to say,
in the past 2 games. Like,
he dropped 2 just the last game. Yeah,
he's had 3 targets in 2 games, all on third downs, and he's dropped all 3 of them. And you can't be on an NFL roster, dude. Like, what you supposed to be doing out there? You just run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, just buy a treadmill if that's all you're gonna be doing out there. So, I mean, we got to get rid of him. He's not helping the team. Put Velus Jones out there. You know, we saw him take that little jet sweep and run that straight into the end zone. So I'd rather see that on third down, or N'Keal Harry trying to catch that jump ball that he threw over that Giants cornerback head last week. Really was the same ball. You know, he just had less coverage. So you can't even say it was the coverage against the Giants, man. That both of them hit him in the hands. So get rid of Pettis for sure. But the rest of our receivers as a whole, man, we got to shout out Darnell. First of all, this show, I just wanted to be officially stated in case it hasn't been said before. This is a Darnell Mooney Stan account. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I love that guy. His work ethic is crazy. You know,
that one-handed grab was sick.
That was a crazy catch, man. That's like I think the only catch I've seen this year better than that is the George Pickens catch.
And
when he went like backwards and sideways. That's the only thing I think even competes with it this year. So, you know, catching your candidate out of Darnell. You know, but other than that, man, is our receiving core, bro, is just it's hurting to watch.
Yeah. What do you think about I felt like in this game, we didn't find as much success as we found with the run over the last few weeks. Was that game planning? Is that did we not go to it enough? Or what do you think as far as the run? Because usually we're able to run pretty successfully. And not that I don't like to see us mix it up, but do you think they were more so playing on top of the run and we were able to take advantage of that? Or what do you think is the cause for us not having the success we had in the run?
I think absolutely. From what I saw, they were lined up more specifically to take away the run. Plus, they have, you know, some really big defensive tackles clogging that middle. Tomlinson is like freaking 340 some pounds. Like they just hard dudes to move. Plus, we got Cody Whitehair is injured, so Lucas Patrick is a center. He's starting at left guard. So that affects your run game. We saw a lot of the successful big gains we had. We ran left behind Cody Whitehair. So not having him, obviously, that's gonna make an impact for us. So hopefully we get him back at some point during the season, or you know, we can find a solution there that puts our offensive line back at full strength. Because you know, we saw some musty problems again, you know, and Pops ain't here to defend him today. But he needs some defense, man. Every game is like some botched snaps. It's some, you know, something to take our offense off schedule, and it's coming from Mustafa like week after week. But as far as the run game specifically, man, they were keying on it a lot more. Injuries, the whole shebang.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was a particular play. I believe it was Mustafa lined up snapping the ball in, and I just remember, I don't know, I think whatever the defense was doing, you know, they have their little blitz packages or whatever, but all I know is that he snapped the ball and he goes forward. There's no one over him, so he's not blocking anyone. Someone slips around like from the right side, right down on Fields, you know what I'm saying, gets the pressure to him pretty much right off the snap. And I don't know, it's like, do you guys just not know the assignments? Do they, I mean, you get what I'm saying? Because in my mind, if it's five of us and if five guys line up in front of us and we snap the ball and I'm not blocking anybody, it's probably a problem, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I never played on the line. I don't know what all the techniques are, and you know, but they need to work on that, because I don't understand how you snap the ball. You got guys lined up to the right or to the left of you. You're not blocking anyone, but you're going towards the linebackers, and your guys getting stopped in the backfield. It's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. All right, our O-line still obviously needs work. You get what I'm saying? Obviously. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just expecting too much. I'm just not used to seeing that. It's like, man, at least be a body out there. You get what I'm saying? Block the guy across from you.
I wouldn't be expecting too much, because you're just expecting them to block the same number of people, you know, that they have to attempt to block. You know, I would call that.
It sounds so simple.
The math ain't mathing is what you're saying.
Right.
I definitely know
Absolutely.
what you said. From a protection scheme standpoint, that's on the offensive coordinator. Not necessarily the execution of it, but making sure that either your quarterback or your center has something that can check into more protection. Like, and we saw Fields had his best passing day of the season by far. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
And we
For
saw the
sure.
protection was the best it's been this season by far.
For real.
And what that means, well, what I saw is we had a lot of max protects. We had a lot of tight ends staying in full-time blocking, not just chipping. Every
Yeah.
running back chipped before they ran out. Montgomery was back, which makes a huge difference in pass pro.
Absolutely.
Because Khalil Herbert, that's one area where he's not on that level yet that Demo is at. So pay that man.
Right. Right.
So it's it's a combination of factors when you see people go unblocked, and sometimes it's just the quarterback's responsibility to just get the ball out and beat that guy or
Right.
beat him on a bootleg or whatever. But when you're just sitting in the pocket, sitting still, and it's edge rushers coming free, that's never supposed to happen.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
you got to see some talent increase, some familiarity with the system increase. The options they give them to audible to at the line of scrimmage increase something, but we gotta fix that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's an L, and that's not good. But I felt great about the game. More so like the second half. Right at the end of the first half when he hit Mooney and we were able to get in the end zone. Through the rest of the game, I think it was a good game for us.
Right.
From there, I think we probably had 12. It was maybe 12-7. I think they from there. After that, so I mean that's a W. If we were able to come out stronger, start off a little bit better, that's good. So it was a lot of things, like you said, on the offense, being able to see us start to move the ball down the field in ways we haven't. Fields having his, like you said, his best passing day of the season is huge for us. So as much as I want to be, as much as I am salty that we got the L, I'm excited at some of the things I'm seeing. And again, I don't think anybody has any expectation for us to win this year. So hopefully these are just good things to bowl for the future. Of course, we always want to win. I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about the success that we have now as we watch the team? We want to see them succeed and do well. How much of that is we want to see the team have good draft picks for the next year? What's your thought process on that?
Man, I think I said a couple of weeks ago something like like this year we know a couple of things. Poles is not getting fired based on their performance this year. Getsy not getting fired. Eberfloos not getting fired. So and we know that Justin Fields will be on the roster next year. And he will likely be our QB1, because it don't make sense to draft a QB when you got nothing around him and a young talented kid like Fields right there. Even if you don't like Fields as the GM, like you're not replacing him right now. So the only thing that matters for this year to me is Fields' development and making sure that he is protected and allowed to learn to use his talents to influence the game in ways only he can. Like that 52-yard TD run, you gotta, like, the penalties on stuff like that, man, they're killing us. And they're killing Fields' confidence too, because that's the refs basically subconsciously saying, nah, you're not supposed to get away with that.
Right.
And how many times did they say that before he starts to believe it? How many times did they hit him in the head before he was asking, like, oh, when I slide, maybe I'll get those calls when I'm 3 or 4 years in. That's what he literally said. That was a quote from him or something like that. So, like, you can't do that to a young quarterback over and over and over again and then expect that never to have an impact. So we don't want to see him taking these hits. We don't want to see him having these receivers drop passes that he's times on these dudes.
Right.
That pass to Pettis on 3rd and 15 or whatever it was, like he threw a 25-yard touch pass over the safety. Safety jumped, couldn't get it, right over him, drop right into the zone so that Pettis could catch that.
Dropped right into his hands and dropped right to the floor.
Dude, that's a catch for anybody, man. Like, you caught that. That's easy. That was an easy route, easy catch. So what's up?
Right.
So we definitely can't keep hurting Fields this year. And as far as draft picks, like, we gotta put some talent around them. So I want a high draft pick. I don't want us to win a ton of games, frankly. Like, I love to see us win.
Yeah.
But we need
But only if we're gonna be able to really compete and and
exactly.
be in it to actually make a stand to go somewhere. You don't just want to just miss the playoffs or make it in and you're not really able to compete with anybody who's there. And I agree. I agree. I've been missing our boy on defense, and I know
Talking about Rowe?
we lost Mac last year. Not
Oh,
Roquan.
Jalen?
No, now he's been out there.
Well, yeah.
Robert Quinn.
I thought you were saying that he wasn't showing up on tape. I was like, kind of.
Robert Quinn, man. Robert Quinn. Like, we're not getting pressures to quarterback. I mean, we're not sacking the quarterback like I feel like we should, like I would like to see. Some games I go and I look and wonder, is Quinn out there? You know what I mean? And I know it's not just him. I know he probably gets double teamed and different things like that, but we got to figure something out, man, because that's what we do good. That's what I like to see, man, keeping that pressure on the quarterback. And like I said, Mac is gone. We knew he was gone. We don't want our defense to just keep taking steps back. I want to see them be able to continue to be the Bears defense that we know them to be, man. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been missing that guy. Do you think that what am I trying to ask? Do you think that he would have been a nice piece to move to get some talent for him, or do you think we should have him there? I mean, right now I don't think he's having much of an impact. What's your insight on that?
I mean, from what I heard, he said he doesn't want to move. He said he's happy here. He don't want to leave Chicago, yada yada. Of course, he collecting a fat ass check, so I wouldn't want to leave either. But realistically speaking, as far as the rebuild goes, the likelihood is he's either not going to be valuable in that window that we need him to be valuable in for all the money he collecting, or he's not going to have a chance to compete, you know what I mean, for his own self, for any other championships or accolades that he might want to go for. So I mean, that's personal to him. He might not want to, he might not care, but I mean, if you don't care about competing and winning for compete for a championship, like, why are you here? You know,
Right.
that's how I see it. So like I don't think it's effort for him. He's a professional, you know, he goes up every day and laces up his boots. So I think sacks come in bunches though. You know, you get matchups, you get guys that are good, aren't good, you know, guys that watch your tape, don't watch so much. And you know, you beat some of them and you don't beat others. So I'm not going to be too hard on him until about week 10. If he got less than sacks come week 10, it might, well, that's kind of too late to trade him, I guess. But you know, it is. But that being said, how do you feel about like what our draft needs are coming up? Because we talked about wanting a high pick, but we got all these needs on offense. We need a pass rusher very clearly. You know, we still have needs in the secondary at cornerback as well, because we only have 2 competent corners right now at best. So what do you see as the draft needs? Like, where would you rank them?
To be honest, I'm the O-line. The O-line is still to me my focus, but like you said, shortly behind them, I think it is. Well, on defense, I think it's tough. I think it's tough. I wanna get a pass rusher, get someone else out there, kind of coupled with somebody like drawing a blank. What are we just talking about? Quinn. Yeah, Quinn. Roquan and Quinn in our defense. But we need those guys in the secondary to be able to stick somebody. And man, it's been looking bleak lately. Granted, we're missing Jalen Johnson, so that's a stopper, a defensive stopper that we have. But I just think we just need to shore up the secondary, because I mean, what good is it if you have somebody rushing the passer, but your receivers are getting open immediately off the line? Right. It doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna snap it and throw it, and you're not gonna have enough time to get to me anyway. So honestly, for us right now, I would say, because I don't think, for the most part, other than who was it? The Giants ran over us. It made us look pretty, and I think the Packers actually did too. Usually, I think we do pretty good. To be honest with you, that's just me. I think worse what I've seen is how they've been attacking our rookie in the secondary, and we've just kind of been getting killed that way. So my focus, honestly, on defense would probably start with the secondary, and then I would try to get some more pass rushing down there. That would be me. But then O-line is still, like, I feel like they're the 1A and 1B is the O-line, and then that defensive piece.
No, no top tier wide out. to
I mean, yeah.
Mooney.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think, yeah, but what you said something that made sense to me too. We're getting Harry back. I want to see what we're able to do. I want to see who is who. You get what I'm saying on our receiving core now, so we can see who we need to cut ties with. Like we said, we see with Pettis, we don't need Pettis out there. That what he's bringing to us is not helping. But to really be able to legitimately see where guys are at, you get what I'm saying? Mooney's our number one right now. Is he a number one? Is he a two? You get what I'm saying?
He making catches like that, you
That's
know.
what I said. I mean, I think so. I think so. And I'm not really in question about him. I guess that's just what I'm saying for our receiving room in general. I want to see who's who we can expect, and what we can expect from those guys. Then we can know who we're replacing. You get what I'm saying, and who's going to be in what capacity for our offense. But absolutely, I think we need that. But I still, prior to that, I think the O line just needs to be able to stand down. Give them time, no matter no matter if you have a top flight receiver or if you just have Mooney and some other guys that are professional players. That's fine too. Give them an opportunity to make plays.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we still need a shot,
Yeah.
and it starts in the
You know
trenches.
how much better Fields is with good protection. Like if you give that
And
man time, he's
right.
unstoppable.
And to be honest
Unstoppable.
with you, I think a lot of times players in any sport can look better based on things like that. Like if you're a receiver, you might not be able to get separation that quickly. But if you have a good online and a great quarterback who can find you, he might be able to make you look pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And you might actually learn and kind of develop from that. Now, when the help you have around you is struggling, it's kind of hard, especially if you're not that top flight guy. You go, I'm stronger than them, I'm faster than them. Unless you're that type of guy, you really need that quarterback to put the ball in the right spot for you. You really need the line to give you the time. You need all those pieces on your side working with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like once we have that a little bit better, more shored up, I think even some of the guys we have, other than Pettis, because you don't drop balls, that's not something that's just gonna fix itself. But other than him, I think we probably have some pretty good receivers that can be serviceable. Now, I would like to get us like, I mean, they talked about Galladay coming here. I'd like to have somebody that when it's trouble, he got one-on-one, throw it to him. Throw it to him. I would love to have somebody like that. So I'm with that. But first, I just want to keep Fields out there able to play and give him an opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm 100% with you on that. Like, man, it's just hard to watch a team that we have these pieces like Fields, like Eddie Jackson, like Jalen Johnson and Roquan and Montgomery that are like championship caliber pieces. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like given time and given the right situation. Like obviously, Eddie Jackson can struggle when he's made to be a box safety. I think he's been the deep single high safety, something like 70% this year. And you see now he's an all pro again, and
Right.
last year when they were like, oh, is Eddie Jackson even any good anymore? Dude was playing in the box like freaking 60% of the snaps because we didn't
Right.
have anybody else that could be that box guy. So Brisker is there now. Brisker's been playing lights out.
Yeah.
And suddenly Eddie Jackson's excelling again. So we just have so many holes. You know what I mean? Like if we had defensive tackles that could eat up blocks and let Roquan run free, like
Right.
he could, go out there and show what he's made of. But it's just hard watching, and seeing all of the prognostication and all the, the media, oh, they don't have this and they don't have that. And some of it they were right. Some of it they were wrong.
Yeah.
They were wrong about, but the parts where, it's undeniable, the receiving room, the protection, it's hard to watch.
I got a question. What does a successful season look like as far as our record this year for you? Of course, you said we kind of have a light schedule, so games we should be able to win. But considering that we still are in a rebuild and we want to draft in a decent spot, like we discussed, we don't want to be one of those teams that's like just missing the playoffs and or just making it in and you really can't compete with anybody. What's ideal from your perspective?
I mean, that's tough to say because you never know how the season's going to shake out,
Right.
But I would say, like, with our remaining schedule, man, we've got some tough games coming up. We got the Cowboys coming into town, the Patriots who just shut out the Lions. We've got to play the Packers again. The Eagles are rolling through, then the Bills. So honestly, I think we got a good couple of L's coming up. I'm not gonna front you. I would say we could probably win out of those 5 games I just said. We probably win 2 of those. Um, but realistically, I think we could beat everybody else on our calendar. We get the Vikings again, the Lions again, um, the Jets, the Falcons, the Commanders, the Dolphins, who just lost both of their quarterbacks. So I would say if we came out the rest of the season, what's it, 12 games left, 6-6, and we end up 8-9. That's not a
Yeah,
bad year for us.
yeah,
I think we're still a little too good to get a really good draft pick, but
yeah.
that should put us around the 15 to 20 range, which that you'll get some good players there. And you won't be waiting and picking at the bottom of the round and whatnot like the playoff team. So that'll have to do for it. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
get a
I
W.
just think it's sometimes hard. And I was asking you. I like your insight to that, but I think it's kind of hard when you're thinking for next season and you like, okay, we want to get some guys in the draft, but it's like, well, we want to win too.
No,
we want to see them win every time we watch them. Every time they lace them up and go out there, we're looking for them to succeed. And like you said, knowing that we have pieces like Montgomery, a Mooney, a Fields, a Roquan, we know what they're capable of. So when they get it rolling, we're like, oh, we're not like, oh no, turn it off, guys. We need a draft pick. So I get it. It's hard to say. It's
you
hard
got
to
to
say
stay
that,
back
but
a little bit.
yeah, but just being reasonable. You get what I'm saying? Just with the expectations. Ideally, you get what I'm saying? We would be able to get some pieces like that to put around Justin. I mean, we're gonna need it. So I agree. I honestly think I was thinking I know we got 17 games this season. I had us around like the 500. I figured if we were 500 this year, to me that's a good year. I just want to see us making, like you said, making the right decisions, seeing if the coaches are using our pieces the right way, and just seeing that we're growing, because you're not, sometimes the other guy's stronger than you, sometimes it's faster, and sometimes they just make plays. But if we can develop and grow, then we'll get there. And like you said, I feel like Fields is the guy to do it, man. We've seen some incredible things from Justin Fields. And so I don't know, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. This is one of them really bittersweet weeks because I feel like the second part of the game was amazing.
Second half, that was the best second half of football I've seen from the Bears in some time,
Yeah,
um, maybe since the Pittsburgh game last year.
yeah.
So here's a question. How do you feel like Eberfloos is doing in his first year with his play calling, with his situation, his clock management, halftime adjustments, like initial, the game starts? Give me a sense of what you think, Eberflus is looking like. Like, is this
I think he's doing a good job, honestly. I don't think anything is perfect. You get what I'm saying? I think he has some learning to do as well with the personnel that he has. But I think he's been doing a good job. What I can say is that even as bad as we've looked at times in some of these games, the things we've said about Mustafa, the things we've said about Pettis and guys like that, we've been in every game. Other than the Packers kicking our behinds, every other game we've had an opportunity to win right down to the end. The Giants game didn't work out that way, in this game against the Vikings didn't work out that way. But these are games we're in, even with the poor playing that we've seen from some of the talent that we have. He's been able to, I feel like, make some decisions that are able to keep us around so that we have an opportunity. And I feel like that's all you can really ask for when you're rebuilding. You want to see that a guy is knowledgeable of his personnel, that he knows what their strengths and their weaknesses are, and that he can kind of exploit those within the game to give us the best opportunity. And if you're doing that, I feel like that's all you can be asked as a coach, somebody who's on the sidelines. All I can do is try to put you in position to go out there and be a star. But it's up to you to go out there and make the play. So as best as he can, I think he's doing a good job with that, especially with it being year one. I think he'll have some growing pains, but I think he's taking it on the chin, man. I think he's doing good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I mean, I'm 100% with you on that. Like, it's like you said, year one of him being a head coach, Flus being Getsy being an OC. So yeah, there's definitely been some growing pains and some stuff I've been really frustrated by decision wise, because I'll just sit there and play Madden. So that's just
Right.
rep, 2-minute drills and clock management. You got to do all that crap yourself.
Right.
But for doing it real game action and live situations, and ain't no BS. I think he's doing a pretty good job. I want to see us start the games better though, because we keep having really good defensive second halves. Like I think we allowed 1 touchdown this week in the second half, and that's the only one all year.
I was gonna say the only one. Yeah.
And then like, stronger offense usually. Say for the Green Bay game where it was the other way around, things usually improve as the game goes on. The halftime adjustments have been killer. Like I've loved the halftime adjustments.
Right.
But how come we not doing that? Like how come we can't start off adjust?
Right. Right. No, I get it.
They come kick us in the mouth and then we come swing back. And I love that we swing it back. That's great. And good football teams have to do that. But it's just like we got to start off that way.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of the David and Goliath thing in a sense, though. I feel like we sometimes get outmatched by some of the guys we go against, and it's like, all right, go get the doggone slingshot, man. I thought you could fight him with your hands. And I think sometimes that's what it is, just trying to figure out what our advantages might be. You get what I'm saying, week to week. And it's just my speculation, because I think there is a way that as the head guy in charge, you can be knowledgeable and know who you're going against and what you're coming into. But sometimes I feel like it's like, okay, I have to find out where we actually match up. You get what I'm saying? We have our professional guys out there, and it's like, you don't think that your Mustafa is going to get just hip tossed to the side. Like, it's like, okay, now that I see that's happening, you get what I'm saying? You think like, all right, you're a big guy. He's a big guy. You can at least, and I feel like sometimes you figure out that, hey, it might take 2 of you to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think that's all, like I said, part of the growing pains, but I can definitely agree with you. I would like to see us start off better. Because like you said, some of the second halves have been great. And if we could have started off that way in the beginning, these are W's, and we're looking at probably 4-1 right now, or at least 3-2. So, I think that's it. But I think with time, and I think those are the types of things I hope we can get to by the time we bring in those other pieces to help solidify some of the holes. I hope we're growing in that way the whole time, and that just becomes the culture of our team. So when we add in those other pieces, it just enhances us, and we're able to just keep getting better.
So follow-up question to that. Like we've said, we've seen improvement from Getsy with his play calling and understanding his personnel. We've seen improvement from Floos, like you said, with the situations and the management, and they're learning. Obviously, Fields is progressing too. Where do you think the ceiling is on specifically the coaching? Like how much better do you think it can get? And do you think that there will be a point where, the coaching, no matter what the matchup you said is, we still got, Dante Pettis, running routes rather than, Odell Beckham. So like, where do you think the coaching is going to take us this year as far as, like how good do you think it can get? Because I just want to know if our coaches continue to improve, our players continue to improve, cool. But, where does it stop? Where do we, run into the wall?
That's a good question. And I can just speculate, to be honest with you, from what I see. I think that if I had to guess, I think our ceiling is pretty high. Because like you said, if you got guys like Pettis who are dropping balls, you're struggling to even get the ball out. You get what I'm saying? Because of the types of pressures Fields has been having. I think they say he was pressured over 50% of his snaps. That was just coming into this week. So I think that if you're able to be creative, I think that shows a lot of what I like to see from a coach. If you can go out there with a guy or with guys that are not that are maybe outmatched, not big enough, not fast enough, but you're able to kind of be creative with how you do things. To me, that's always what it's about, because sometimes you'll have the better individual on your side. Sometimes the better individual man may be on the other side of the ball at whatever position it may be. But knowing how to call a game, I think is very important. And I think we've seen signs of it. Like you said, the toss to who was it? St. Brown? Who was it? No, it was Velus Jones, who got the toss to the end zone. Plays like that, I think, man, switch it up. It's like we run the ball a lot. It was a pass, but it's kind of a run. It's like using some of our strengths, but in a different way. He found a way to help get Fields get the ball downfield a lot more this game. And of course, we know the O-line had to look better, but whatever the calls are, whatever way you try to match that up so that we can have that, you get what I'm saying? So that we're able to block for longer, give him more time in the pocket. And I think that's important. I think we've been seeing it and like you said, the halftime adjustments. I think that's a big sign of the ceiling of our coaches is the ability to, whatever talent you have out there, to make those adjustments that keep you competitive. And so that's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's good. That's good too. Man, it's really good to hear too, because man, like I see them sometimes and I'm real critical.
Yeah,
So when
yeah,
I
it's
see
only right.
mistakes, I'm like, that really gets to me, when I see them just punt it away on 3rd and 2 when I know we're not gonna get the ball back, stuff like
Right.
that. That really eats at my confidence in them. So it's good to hear that, you're still high on the
Yeah.
potential of the
And I
coaches.
mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with you on that. I would have just loved to see the opportunity for the guy not to botch the punt and just to see what he had in mind. You get what I'm saying? Because I remember Scottie Pippen, and this is off the subject of football, but I remember Scottie Pippen saying that Phil Jackson was racist because he dropped the play for Tony Kukoc. But I was gonna say it was Tony Kukoc hit the shot. You get what I'm saying? He hit it. He
Right.
hit it. So it's like sometimes it may be unexpected, or we may be like, man, why did you call that? But when it works, it's like, hey, good job. You know what I'm saying? And that game, we're supposed to get the ball back.
Right.
And so
Allegedly.
it's one of those things where it's like I can agree with you and I can see what you're saying. I wouldn't have been against him going for it there on the 3rd and 2, but we should have had another opportunity. And so I can't say I'm totally against what he did, because the plan was to get the ball back. He got it back. We struggled to move it all day. So I don't know if that would have been our better opportunity to score from the punt away and being maybe further down the field. I don't know if that was better for us or not, but I know he would have given us an opportunity, and that's all I can ask for as a fan.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe if Vilas had caught that, he'd have did some Devin Hester stuff. So,
and you know what? That's what I'm hoping. I mean, and Devin Hester only got to do it because he had the opportunity, so the guy got to catch the ball. And then when it doesn't work out, we can look back in hindsight and say, okay, they didn't make it doing it this way. Maybe the other way was better, but they got to come to play first. For sure.
I definitely agreed on that one. Yeah, man.
Hey, I wanted to say it's nice to have my boy Cairo Santos back. I know he has some personal things going on. The backup kicker we had came in and did his thing, but it's always good to have our boy back there, man. I'm real high on Santos. I think he's going to be clutch for us, man, to be able to put up points if we struggle moving down the field. It's nice to have a guy who can keep you on the board, keep putting points up.
Oh yeah, Cairo was out there knocking them 50-yarders down like it was candy, bro.
Like it's nothing.
Light work. So, it's always good to have that man back there kicking. He gave me that same confidence that Robbie Gold used to give us, So when I saw Santos come out for a kick late at the game yesterday, I walked out the room. I was like, that's 3. we got it.
Yeah. And he is, man. He's good like that most of the time, man. He doesn't too much slouch on that. But I wanted to get your opinion on the end of the game.
Oh boy.
Man, what was he thinking?
I mean, he wasn't. It's like really real talk, he wasn't thinking. He stiff armed that first dude and he thought he was Adrian Peterson. That's really
it's happening.
He just ripped that. He babied the man. So
man, and it feels so bad for that to be your team. It's like, dude. Yeah.
That hurt to watch too, because I was sure that Fields was about to, man. I thought he was
magic.
Lace it up down the field, knock down these little out routes and check downs, and we were gonna turn that. Man, that was gonna be the comeback of the year, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. But I mean, I would say from a growth standpoint, just on the topic of Fields, just to touch on that one more time, like I love to see that from him, that he's not only overcoming, all the shortcomings that the team around him has, but he's overcoming all this, slander from the media. He's overcoming a lot of heat from, they asking him, man, the press conferences that they be having with this man after are brutal. They really
you're right.
Back out there sometimes. So it's really good to see that man keep his head straight. All that adversity in the first half, he ain't flinched, man. That's a killer mindset, man. I like to see that. And it gets me real excited about the future. Like, how good do you think he's even gonna get this year with this supporting cast? If this is like 5 weeks of improvement, you know what I mean? If he can do this, that man is making lemonade out of out of stuff that's not lemonade, So
Yeah, I agree.
on the pod, I gotta keep the swear words to a minimum. So
Yeah, it's all right. This is the explicit version. Uncle and nephew explicit.
Oh yeah.
We're really gonna tell you about the Bears.
Yeah, we got this Thursday game coming up, man. What do you think about the Washington Commanders?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the Thursday game. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm a bad person to ask, man. Every week I'm saying we're gonna win. I'm saying a lot of things, but you know what? And I feel like we see the potential, right? We see the talent in some of the guys we have out there. And when they get it working, it looks like the second half from Sunday's game. But we just gotta go out there and execute, man. That's all I can say. I don't want to go making any predictions because I'm wrong sometimes. I got the Bears winning.
Keep making predictions. Look.
Oh no, my predictions always we're gonna win. I don't want to try to be too detailed or what I think is gonna happen. I think we're gonna get the W. I think it's just all about execution. We know what we got to do. We know Justin Fields is our boy. You get what I'm saying? We know everything kind of on the offensive side is gonna be up to how he plays, how they're able to protect him, and how he plays. Demo is back. So he's, he carries guys when he's running the ball a little bit different than Khalil Herbert, who runs real good, but Demo kind of runs through guys a lot of the time. So I'm excited for that. I think we're gonna be tough to beat, man. At the end of the day, they're gonna have to come see us, and they're gonna have to stop us. I got us winning. We just got to go out there and play.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get the dub this week too. That'll put us at 3-3 on the season. That's a good way to start, the first 6 games, just to come out of that 500. Like, even if you're not, competing, and you're not like, man, this team's that got firepower, like we can't even look at. So like I know we're not going to be in that conversation later on in the year, but it feels good to be on the right side of 500, you know what I mean? And it'd be nice for Justin Fields' confidence to see those W's stack up, because that's what that man is about, man. He don't care about nothing but that W at the end of the week. Right. So it really will help for him, and I think it'll be a spark for our young guys. So definitely on board with that. I think we're gonna kick their butts. Frankly, it's coming off a short week. Carson Wentz is very turnover prone, and that's gonna make Eddie Jackson real happy because he likes to passes. So let's see how we play. Hopefully Jalen Johnson can be back, but if not, we just gotta try to contain their wideouts. Scary Terry out there. Terry McLaurin, he's a dog. And then they got this Curtis Samuel kid. I don't really know too much about him yet, except he's been tearing it up. So,
right.
We gotta be out there. We gotta play good ball on defense to contain their offense. We know we can't run block or run stuff. So, who knows how that's gonna turn out. But I think we get the dub. I think we walk out of that, 500. And Justin Fields gets to put a little notch on the bedpost a little bit. So
I think that's good too. Yeah, I think that is important for him, man, because at the end of the day, he's definitely gonna need that confidence, man. And it's always good to have them games where you can go out there and just kind of, have a good day. Have a good day. The offensive line play well, protect them, let him go out there and do his thing. Though, I think he had a game like that last year where he just kind of went nuts and was throwing the ball all over the place. So I'm hoping he can kind of go out there and get comfortable and have a game like that this Thursday. Hopefully that's what we can get out of Fields, like you said, get back to 500. And again, I think the kid's got a great mindset, because he gets a lot of blame undeservedly, like most quarterbacks do. They get more blame than they should, get more praise than they should. But he's taking it well, and it's a rebuild. You get what I'm saying? So it's obviously not him. Sometimes it's him, but it's obviously a lot of things our team needs right now. But he doesn't go out there and put his teammates down. He doesn't go out there and get his head down about it. He talks about the things he can do better, and he goes out there and attacks the game that way. So I like the kid. I'm looking forward to what he'll accomplish here.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Bears by 7.
I like that. I want them to win by 14. But what I want to do is I want to sit down and go back and look and track each of our predictions and just see who comes out.
Well, look, I'll tell you what, I say we're gonna win every week, and we're 2-3. So whatever. You don't got to listen to me.
Yeah, true. But you know, when it comes to the tougher
1-4.
tougher
1-4.
matchups, it'll start.
What is our? Are we 1-4?
No,
are we 2-3?
We're 2-3.
Okay.
Beat the 49ers, beat the Texans, and then lost.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. Right.
And we're gonna beat the Thursday short week, whatever, man. We got this.
Yeah.
Then we got 10 days, you know, get some guys healthy, get some game planning in before we go and face I think it's the Patriots next. It's either the Patriots or the Cowboys. I just had it up, to tell you. Yep, it's the Patriots.
So. Indeed. And they coming off that shutout to the Lions. And man, the Lions usually put the ball in the end zone. Even though they lose, they usually score.
Their offense got rocked, and I'm not sure why. I might have to go like rewatch that game, like watch those highlights and whatnot, and see what happened there, because we haven't played them yet.
Yeah.
They're coming up after this stretch where we've got Commanders, Patriots, Cowboys, Dolphins, and then the Lions, and that's our first game against them this year. So I'm actually kind of like a little bit concerned because our defense has not been too good. So
right,
you can't slow the Lions down.
Right. No, you're right.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
You're right.
But conversely, they have no defense either. So
right.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how that plays out.
That should be a good day for the offense.
Yeah. As far as what's coming up with the pod, I really wanted to shout out everybody that's been watching, listeners, viewers, friends, family, people who, you know, just picked it up, people who may not know us that well, man. I really appreciate all the feedback we've been getting. A lot of people that have been, you know, hitting me up, or I've been running into that I never would have expected to be watching, but you know, y'all are out there. So I really appreciate that, man. We doing this for y'all just as much as we're doing it ourselves. But yeah, keep staying involved. We're on Twitter, we're on Insta. You know, if y'all see comments and replies, that's us. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody else out there doing that. So definitely hit us up. We definitely want to hear what you guys got to say as well. We're looking to start, you know, some fan questions and different segments for the podcast. So definitely get involved and reply to the polls and all that stuff we're putting up. And, you know, we want to have some people, you know, give their opinions as well, so we can hear what you guys are saying. Maybe even some like streams and real time shows. So yeah, definitely just trying to keep growing and keep doing this, man. This is fun.
That's right. That's right. Tap in with us. Check out the social medias and all that.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that down at the bottom right there.
Absolutely. And bear down.
Always bear down, man. We don't even get up. So busy bearing down. But anyway, man, I think that's about it for this week, man. Short week. We're gonna have another pod coming out on Friday to cover the Thursday night game. So get this one in quick. But yeah, I'm Uncle.
Nephew.
And
we're talking Bears.